Hi, ladies. Dr. Melody here, and I am coming to you with an awesome bonus episode that is limited time. I'll be taking it down at the end of this month, but I had super exciting news I wanted to share with you and make sure everyone in our podcast community knows about it. I am going to be a part, and I am inviting you to join me in a Healthy New Year Summit. This is going to happen towards the end of the month, so I'm giving you warning now. This bonus episode is going to share so much more about it, but this is about a healthy new year in all different areas. There's going to be 24 different topics related to health and time management and essential oils and owning your brilliance and all these amazing things that we're all wanting to move forward and make changes in the new year. All those things are going to be covered. It's going to be incredible. So let's dive in.
You are listening to the Healthy Christian Women Podcast, brought to you by Fit+Faith, the podcast for Christian women to grow healthier in their mind, body, and spirit. Jumpstart your health with your complimentary mind, body, and spirit detox checklist at healthychristianwomen.com/detox. That's healthychristianwomen.com/detox. Here's your host, Dr. Melody Stevens.
Hello and welcome to the Healthy Christian Women Podcast. I have a very special guest with us this morning, and we've got some exciting things that are happening to help you jumpstart your health in the new year. So welcome to 2021, and I am so excited to be inviting Brianna Wilkerson. She is a health coach and founder of the Healthy New Year Summit, and I'm so excited to be a part of that. That's going to be going on in just a little while, so stay tuned for all the details. But Brianna, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, absolutely. So share a little bit with us about what it is you do, why you are so passionate about health, a little bit about your personal story and your personal journey with health. And then I'm excited to share more with our listeners about this Healthy New Year Summit.
Yeah. So, as a Christian growing up throughout, college, high school, all those things, my faith was a huge part of my life, but it wasn't actually till college that I really reconnected with my faith. And that had a lot to do with my health journey. So, in high school, most girls are just trying to find out where they fit in the world. And I just started playing sports, actually. So I started to lose weight, and I started to get affirmed for that weight loss. And so I kind of correlated in my mind, when I am a smaller size, I'm more loved. And that's not true. That's not where my worth is. We all know that it's in God, but that's just kind of what I believed. Now, I'm from the Cayman Islands, so hurricanes are a very big part of our culture and our life. And a huge hurricane hit, and it just changed a lot of things in my life. And I just felt out of control. And this is about when I was in 9th grade, and I wanted to control something. And at the time, that's when I was on the healthy kick. So I was like, let me just control what I eat and how much I exercise. And I became obsessed and unhealthy with it, to the point where I was just way too small for my body structure. I kind of saw food as like the enemy. It's not something I can trust. And so, you fast forward to the end of high school, I never did deal with that though. Even when I had teachers and friends, family saying, hey, you don't look too healthy anymore. And even when I saw a nutritionist, and she said, you should probably see a child psychologist, because it doesn't seem like this is just about food, like eating wise, it's about something bigger. And I'm like, oh, I'm fine. I'll gain weight. Everybody will be happy. But because I never dealt with that poor relationship with food and connection with my worth and my body, end of high school, I was just really stressed. I was up to be valedictorian, just, again, was finding my worth in what I did and accomplished. And I just went to food for comfort. It became my friend. And so I gained back all the weight I lost, just all of it. And with that, gained back a lot of shame and guilt. And how come I was so controlled before and I'm not controlled anymore? And I just went on that spiral for a long time of just trying a diet and trying to find a quick fix solution to a problem that was very internal and actually very spiritual. And so now, fast forward to college, I was a part of a Christian group called InterVarsity Christian Fellowship. And I just really understood, I think, for the first time, like God's love for me. I had learned about it, read Bible verses about it, but it became tangible and it became real. And from that moment, I just started to see that my worth was not in how I looked, what I ate, and what I did. And so I kind of continued on in that vein, and slowly over time, I felt like God was, my business is called Made Well for a reason. I felt like he was making me well. And after I got married and moved back home, I felt like God was like, it's time that we actually deal with this physical thing, because you've just been like tapering it and ignoring it. And then I just had to like raise my white flag and say, I can't do this as a diet. I can't do this, even go after weight loss in particular. I need to do this just so I can be well holistically. I know you talk about mind, body, and spirit, and I followed First Place for Health, a Christian weight loss program, and I just loved its focus on the holistic being and scripture and truth. And so I did that for about a year and a half, and I lost weight, but more than that, I found joy in the process. And I wasn't even trying to lose weight, actually. I was just trying to be healthy. And it was that moment that I realized, even friends even asked me, like, what are you going to do? Like, this is amazing transformation. Are you going to do anything with this? And I'm like, no, this was just for me. But over time, I felt like the Lord was saying, this isn't just your story or your struggle. I want you to help other women. And so I went to health coaching school, and I've been running my business about nearly 5 years now, really just supporting women in the same journey, ditching the diets, finding food freedom. Yes, losing weight, that last, but coming to a place where they can thrive in their whole health and life. And so it's morphed over the years. But yeah, that's kind of what I do and how I support women now.
That is incredible. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. I think there are so many that can relate to that story of initially using food, ultimately seeing food as bad, and then using it as something that feels like the only thing that you can control. And wow, what an incredible journey. It really is beautiful to see that God's process in our life often takes time. We want, when we can identify that there is a problem, regardless of how intense or deep it is, we still want a quick fix. But beginning to see that there is some deeper things that need to be addressed, that need to be healed. Can you talk a little bit more about when you began to seek the Lord more in college, how he was working in your heart to really get to those deeper transformations that were needing to be addressed so that you could become friends with food again and become healthy in your mind, because the unhealth that was happening inside your mind and the mental battle was playing out physically. And then you began to get healing and restoration in that. Would you mind diving deeper into that a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. I think, you mentioned it, Romans talks about being transformed by the renewal of our mind. And I think we think that, and we think about it in regards to sin or being nicer to people, but we don't really think about that in regards to our own goals, our own health. And I think that's what he was doing. And so I wasn't, in college, for the first time, I think I was really taught how to really study scripture and really look at Jesus. We say we're a Christian, we say we follow Christ, but who is Jesus really? And why do I say I follow him? And so just really getting into the Gospels and really just doing an inductive Bible study where verses saying, like, I want the text to tell me about peace instead of worry. Going to the text and saying, what do you have to say to me? And just really seeing how just these principles for life and transformation of my mind just started to come out. Where, again, I wasn't even approaching it because I want to be healthy. At that time, it was like, I just want to know God. And through knowing God, he started to speak to those other areas. So even in college, I used to drink a lot of Diet Coke because guess what? 0 calories, you still get the carbonation, all the taste. And I just really felt like the Lord was saying, you need to give up Diet Coke because you're just using it as a crutch. Like, I want you to stop even consuming drink, all that with 0 calories in mind, but to actually just approach, it was an idol in my life, I must say. That sounds silly, but it was. And even caffeine. And so I had to give that up. And I remember giving that up and just, going to my husband was my boyfriend at the time and just being like, I'm no longer going to drink Diet Coke. And I don't think he knew the importance of it, but in my heart, it just felt like I had let go of a yoke that had binded me for so long. And over time, with other things, that just came to unfold. So all that to say, I was pursuing just becoming more like Christ through his word. And then through community and also sharing, I started a small group at the time called Women of Worth. I was like, I'm not saying that I know everything, but I know that all of us women need to know that our worth is in God. And so just through all of that and being a Christ follower, he then started to speak to my health in those areas.
I love that. That's so amazing. I love that. One of the things when God was leading me to start Fit+Faith, which was back in 2015, yeah, I can't even believe it. It was one of those things where he was helping me to see that what is going on in our body has so much more to do with what is happening in our mind, and what's going on in our mind has so much to do with what's happening in our heart.
Yes, very much so.
It starts there, and oh, I just love that so much, because what I have seen and what he has done in my life and what I've seen him do in others is that he takes our weight loss journey. Maybe it's not weight loss journey per se, but just our health journey.
Mm-hmm.
He takes our journey of health in whatever ways it happens to be unhealthy, or in whatever ways we are desiring to create change. And he breaks those down to the fundamental levels of, why are you wanting this change?
Mm-hmm.
Where is this coming from? What is the deeper motivation that you're seeking? And this is the outlet that you're choosing to pour that into in your physical health. But what's really happening on the deepest level of what you're looking for in connection, in value and worth, and what are your true motivations going on? And he'll take our health journey and use that to be a light that begins to get to the heart of what is truly going on. And then as we are growing closer to him, then he's revealing to us those idols. He's revealing to us the things we're using for crutches, the things we're going to for emotional support. And he'll help us to see that. And then he wants to get to the root of it, because in the end, he wants us to get to a place where it is him above anything and everything else that we are turning to for our worth, our healing, our value, our deliverance. Everything comes from him, and he wants to find his way, and he'll use any aspect of your life. And for many of us, it's through our health journey to get to that end result where we are seeking him now above everything else. And that's what he's truly wanted the whole time.
Yeah.
And so I've seen that, and I've lived that, and you're saying that, and I love that so much. So when he reveals to us those things, the Diet Coke, right? Whatever that happens to be, the caffeine. For me, I had a huge caffeine addiction. He will reveal those things to us. And then now we can finally, with clarity, say, okay, now I see what I've been doing, and now I have a choice. I can no longer make that choice with good conscience, knowing that I'm either feeding into this addiction or this false idol, or I'm going to begin to surrender this to the Lord and to be aware of it and then to lay it down. And so, oh, it's just so good. Thank you so much for sharing. It's beautiful to hear your story and what God has done. And the thing is, he wants to do this with all of us. And it may not be your health journey. It may be a completely different area of your life, but he wants to use what he is doing in your life to become an outreach to someone else. And so I love that you said you started groups, you started programs, you ultimately started a business, you started all of these things coming from that place of what he's done in my life cannot be just for me. He wants to use your transformation to speak to someone else, to be a beacon or light or hope or inspiration, whatever that may be, to use it for someone else. It's never just for you. So we can take those things and say, God, I love that I have my personal experience with you and what you've done in my life, and that's precious to me. But then we need to get to a point where he's like, but don't just keep it just for you. It's time to share, and it's time to help others. And that's how he wants to use us tangibly to work in the lives of others around us. So thank you so much. So tell us about this Healthy New Year Summit that is coming up very soon.
Yeah. So this is my, I would say, fifth summit. Even my co-host, Anya Perry, this is her fifth summit. We've done 3 together and 2 separately. And I remember just early on in my, in my business, I just was talking with other entrepreneurs like yourself. And there was just a lot of synergy in just same heart, maybe same audiences, a little different. And I just realized these conversations, even about health that we were talking about, I think other women can benefit from this. That's the reason why I started my podcast. That's also the reason why I've started summits. And I had no idea what I was doing at first, which is everything in business and in life. But I just found that you brought these women together who truly wanted to see other women be made well, and offered their, their expertise, offered their resources. It was just such I saw it as such a fun party. It's like a party I want to go to. So I just call them virtual wellness parties now, where women can come together and share. There's about 24 speakers in this summit. But, women who are in their audiences could come together and be exposed to new people who have maybe new ideas or says things in a way that they didn't think about before. And so this summit is going to be for a week, January 25th to the 31st. There will be about 5 to 6 talks a day, and they'll be available for that day. and it's free to attend. And you will just have women come in and share about 15 minutes or so on a various topic. I know you're kind of sharing on toxic load in the new area that you're going into. We have women sharing on productivity and time management because it's the new year. So we're all setting these goals, but we need to manage our time and figure out which ones are important. And as well as owning your own brilliance, as well as then health related stuff like intermittent fasting and essential oils and so forth. So it's a variety of topics to really just serve women in most of the health goals that they're setting at the beginning of the year. And so there'll be free resources as well as giveaways. And then, I don't know about you, but I love summits. I love attending them, but I can't watch all of them throughout the week. There's just stuff that comes up. So we're actually selling the summit as well for a very affordable rate. So for those women who want access to it lifetime, as well as a workbook and access to a few more prizes, can purchase that as well.
That's wonderful. So it starts next week.
The registration opens next week, yeah.
The 25th?
Sorry, the 11th is when a registration opens for 2 weeks. And then on the 25th is when you can watch it. If you're doing the free event, that's when you could start to watch it. But actually, if you purchase it, you can purchase it from next week. You'll have access to all the videos already. That's a bonus of getting the lifetime access.
Okay, perfect. And then when the event goes live from the 25th to the 30th, there will be, you said, about 5 speakers per day. And so then they'll get access to those. And will it just be sent out via email, or is there a platform where they will?
So we'll send out email as like a reminder, like this is who's live, go in. And then on a platform, just my course platform is where you can watch them. And what we're doing is for the free summit, they'll be available for that day, but they're short. You can listen to them in like an hour or so. So we're going to help women. We're going to do a live event before the summit starts where we help you figure out, all right, I only have a little bit of time this week. Which ones do I need to watch that are aligned with my goals?
I love that. Okay, wonderful. This is going to be so great. I love it. Healthy New Year Summit. And it encompasses more than just our health. It's all the different areas that we are most paying attention to and wanting to create change in at the start of a new year.
Yes. Yeah.
I love it. Oh my gosh, Bree, this is so wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing this with our listeners. And so ladies, what you can do is I will post my link with this podcast. You can go ahead and start registering with that link. And then whether you choose to do the free live event where you get access to those specific trainings on a limited basis for that first day that they're available throughout that week, or if you want to end up purchasing the program and get lifetime access to all of the trainings so that you can go back to them at your convenience and you get that workbook as well, you'll have all options available to you. So thank you so much, Bree. Is there anything else you would like to say to our listeners before we wrap it up?
Yeah, I would just encourage them to say yes to signing up for the summit. Again, even if you watch 2 of the talks in the free summit, you're going to get so much benefit. And trust me, the giveaways are amazing and the free resources. I want to sign up for all the free resources. So definitely just take that step, sign up, and get support this new year.
Absolutely. I love it. Thank you so much for being here with us. And we will see you guys on the other side for all those that are going to join us in our summit. Have a great rest of your day, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Healthy Christian Women podcast. Don't forget to subscribe and share. Are you ready to experience breakthrough in your mind, body, and spiritual health? Join us inside the Fit+Faith lifestyle membership and get started today. Visit fit+faith.com/join. That's fit+faith.com/join. Step into health and wholeness in Jesus' name. Join today.